On the other hand, a person says, yeah, but I want freedoms. I want to do whatever I want. I want to be happy. And the only way I'm going to be happy is by being free. Free of the obligations. Wrong. Freeing yourself from the Torah does not give you freedom, but rather turns you into a slave to your physical desires, a slave to people's perception, a slave to people's opinions, a slave to everything but God. Because now that a person abandons God, chas v'shalom, he doesn't have Torah that's going to direct him of where he needs to go, where he should go. So he goes with the flow, as they say. So the flow tells him, listen, you're free, so you can be with whoever you want. And he does. And then he realizes that the more free he is, the more miserable he is. Aside from being more prone to disease, he's also more prone to a lot of other problems, whether it be drugs or other forms of immorality. And most critically, he's more prone to depression. Yeah, but he has 15 girlfriends, and he always feels alone. Yeah, but she has 5 boyfriends, and she always feels like a tool, like a garbage bag. That's how she feels. Even though she has 5 boyfriends, and all of them buy her presents, she feels like a garbage bag, containing everybody's waste. Freeing yourself from the rules of the Torah didn't turn you into somebody free. It turned you into a garbage bag. It turned you into a slave. And if you're not going to talk about the immorality aspects of freedom from the Torah, they say go into the materialism aspect of it. Oh, I'm free. I don't have to fulfill the mitzvot, so I could, do whatever I want. Yeah, doing whatever you want, that means that you work on Shabbat. I take a vacation on Shabbat. Who's free? You work on Shabbat? I'm on vacation. Which one of us is free? You work on holidays? I take off holidays. Which one of us is free? Yeah, but I get a vacation. I also get a vacation. In fact, I get more vacation than you do. No, but I can take a vacation even when it's not Jewish holidays. I can too. Just because it's not a Jewish holiday doesn't mean I'm obligated to work. I can take a vacation whenever I can, whenever I feel like it. Meaning that what you think you can do as a person that's empty of Torah and Torah lifestyle is not really freedom. Because whatever you do, most of it, the religious people can do also. Only difference is, you'll go to Gehenom for it, we're going to heaven for it. That's what Rav Nissim again used to tell people all the time. You and I do the same things. Only difference is, you're going to Gehenom for it, I'm going to Gan Eden for it. Why? You did it in the ways that are against the Torah. I did it in the ways that the Torah permits. You wanted to fulfill your lust, I wanted to fulfill my lust. You did it in a non-kosher way with some woman that's not your wife when she's nidah, you're going to Gehenom for a very long time. Baruch Hashem, his wife, and the kids don't come from the air. They don't just appear, some bird drops them off like in the cartoons. And guess what? I get to enjoy the kids too. I get to enjoy seeing them grow up. I get to enjoy seeing them learn. Call me Abba. What do you get to enjoy? Nothing. You get to enjoy, like, oh wow, she's pregnant? Oh yeah, is she going to have an abortion? So we commit murder together? What do you get to enjoy? Nothing. Eat. You eat, we eat. You eat food that's not kosher. We eat food that's kosher. You're going to Gehenom, we're going to Gan Eden. What benefit do you get? What, your food's more delicious? How do you know? Did you try the kosher food? Oh, I didn't like it. You tried all the kosher food in the world, you didn't like any of it? Do you know that you can make that non-kosher food kosher also most of the time? Yeah, but I like bacon, so you can make turkey bacon kosher. Yeah, but I like shellfish. You can make soy shellfish. It's not really shellfish, it's soy. Everything you really want, you can get in a kosher way. It's just that the Yetzer Hara in you convinced you that you want to be free by turning you into a slave. Free by turning you into a slave. Not free, really. There is no freedom without Torah. And that's what people simply do not understand until they try seriously to follow the Torah and achieve real freedom. The same goes when it comes to Avodat HaMidot, fixing our midot. While the Yetzer Hara is going to convince you, listen, I'm just expressing myself. So what if I'm allowed? So what if I'm angry? So what if this? So what if I'm arrogant? No, you're not understanding. The arrogance, the anger is hurting you. It's not hurting the other people only. It's hurting you more than everybody else. The Gemara says that an arrogant person is even hated by his own family. So, yeah, you can continue being free and being arrogant, but your wife will cheat on you, your husband will cheat on you, your kids will hate you. As soon as they grow up, they'll get married and run away from you. And if you have money, they'll stick to you only because you have money and looking forward for the day you die. No one is going to want to be part of your life. They're only going to use you as a tool, like a hammer. So, yeah, you're free to be this angry, arrogant monster, but you're just turning yourself into a hammer. Is that really freedom? By being humble, by having some self-control. My wife loves me. The husband loves her. The kids love them. They can't wait to come over for Shabbat, even after they've grown up and they have a wife and kids and a husband and kids of their own. They want to come over. They want to be next to you. Why? Because you're nice to be around. They're not looking forward to the day you die. In fact, they pray for you to live. You have a little bit of pain, they start reading Tehillim for you. Yeah, but it's just my foot hurts. Yeah, but Bezrat Hashem, you have refuah shlema, and you see these kids start crying, Ribono shel olam, Abba has a foot ache, please Hashem, bring the salvation, literally as if you have cancer of the 5th degree. Why? Because they love you. But when you're an arrogant person, no one loves you. Everyone runs away from you. So is that freedom really? What freedom is that? I want to be free and eat whatever I want. Eat. Is that really freedom? That you can eat cockroaches of the sea and of the land? That's what you're celebrating? That you're eating some type of crocodile or an octopus? That's your freedom? That's the existence that you have in this world? That you're eating little creatures that eat dirt? That is freedom for you. Just go into the jungle, walk around like them, act like them, and perhaps you may have more people to relate to. How is that freedom? The reality is, Rabotai, that the more a person understands the Torah, the more they see that there is no freedom other than Torah. It's a statement that's mentioned constantly by the sages, not because it's simply true, but rather because it is reality. It is reality. It is the only truth that exists. There is no other truth. Everything else is a lie that the Satan has convinced us through his messengers, through his wife, through his workers. He's convinced us that freedom means running away from the Torah. Freedom means not working on ourselves and fixing ourselves. Freedom means believing in things that are opposite of the Torah. Freedom means never getting punished. Freedom means God loving us no matter what. Freedom is this and freedom is that, but in reality, all of these things are simply chains. Chains around our arms and legs, chains around our souls, chains around ourselves that are worse than the worst jail you can possibly imagine. When a person understands that all of the negative traits that have turned them into a lowlife are not expressions of freedom, are not expressions of loving themselves, but rather the opposite, then they can finally understand what our sages are saying, what the Chazon Ish is saying here. It's like, yes, you have to love yourself, but you also have to know how to express that love. And loving yourself means following a set of instructions from the Creator that created you, that created the instructions, that created love itself, and knows exactly how you can achieve it. If you follow it, you're guaranteed to love yourself and enjoy that love. Literally feel the joy of loving yourself, because all of a sudden you're no longer a slave to desires. You're no longer a slave to people's opinions. You're no longer a slave to anyone except HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which you're happily doing. And that, Rabotai, gives you a new desire, a desire to be proud. It gives you pride, but the right pride, the pride to go in the ways of Hashem.